What's going on, everybody? Sports Expert here, and we are here doing our Week 6 NFL Power Rankings. So it was an interesting Week 6. We had a lot of good games, a lot of crummy games. So let's get right into it. But before, please hit the subscribe button if you're new. We do Power Rankings and picks every week. Would really appreciate it, guys. Turn on the post notification bell for these videos. Comment what you think about my picks and my power rankings and what you would change. And yeah, let's get to it, guys. The NFL Power Rankings for Week 6 right here. Once again, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 32 in the power rankings. They are now 0-5 after their loss to the Tennessee Titans. The Jaguars are in a lot of turmoil with their coaching staff, their players, miscommunication, disagreement between the players and the coaching staff. It's not good. And Trevor Lawrence being a rookie doesn't help. And, the Jaguars are in a terrible position right now. And, they've lost, they've lost now 20 games in a row. How sad is that? I mean, I don't know when this team's ever going to win a game again. This is worse than the Cleveland Browns, you could argue. Like, what is going on? The Jacksonville Jaguars are just bad at football right now. At 31, we have the New York Jets. The Jets are coming off a loss against the Atlanta Falcons in London. Zach Wilson looked bad again. I mean, I still don't think Zach Wilson's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion at this point. But the Jets still have a solid defense. They didn't play great in the first half. They adjusted, rebounded in the second half. So the Jets have that for them. But at the same time, the Jets don't look great. I mean, they were able to lock up their young defensive end, John Franklin Myers, but I don't know. At 30, we have the Detroit Lions, probably the unluckiest team in football, but I have to put them at 30 because they are 0-5. So the Detroit Lions lost to the Minnesota Vikings 19-17. 37 seconds left. Greg Joseph kicks a game-winning 54-yard field goal. I mean, so unlucky. Dan Campbell was even crying at his press conference. That's how just sad it was. I mean, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, I just feel awful for you at this point. Like, how unlucky can you guys be? I mean, at least Browns fans have had success. The Lions just haven't found anything. It's insane. The Lions might be the worst franchise in NFL history. At 29, we do have the Houston Texans. They lost a heartbreaker versus the New England Patriots 25-22. They probably should have won that game, but they kind of choked at the end. David Culley is a bad coach. I'm sorry, I'm going to do a mini rant here, but David Culley is a terrible football coach. He's terrible at coaching the sport of football. If you guys know what football is, it's a sport where you throw a ball with your hands, and David Culley is horrible at coaching it. So I hope you guys know that. I mean, I don't even know why they hired him. The hire was a disaster at first, and yeah, I mean, there's even coaches that are like, what is this guy doing? Like, he's just not a very good head coach. I mean, I hope he's a one and done at this point. He probably won't be because it's the Texans, but gosh, what a horrible hire. At 28, we have the New York Giants. They are coming off a 44-20 loss versus the Dallas Cowboys on the road. The Giants have a lot of injuries now. Saquon Barkley's week to week. Daniel Jones has a concussion. Kenny Galladay has been knocked out of the game. Only 3 starters on that offense from week 1 are healthy. Kyle Rudolph, Will Hernandez, and Nate Solder. Just not ideal for the New York Giants, a team that I wasn't high on at all this season. Like I said, I don't know if you guys know, I had them going 4-13, and that might actually be their record. I mean, if Daniel Jones has to miss some time, Mike Glennon will step in, and Mike Glennon is absolutely terrible at football. Like I said, the sport where you throw a ball, a pigskin. He's terrible at it. At 27, we have the Denver Broncos. They're 3-2. You might be asking me, why do you have the Broncos at 27 if they have 3 wins and are over 500? Because they played the crappiest teams in football and they've been exposed by other decent teams. The Broncos are actually one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're a terrible football team, by the way. But, people won't want to say that. They're really bad. They're bottom of 6 right now. I mean, it has to be said. I mean, look at who they beat. They beat the Jets. They beat the Giants. And they beat the Jaguars. I mean, that's not going to get you anywhere in my power rankings. Like, get out of here right now. The Broncos are a bad team. I mean, if they play a team over 500, they're going to get destroyed. I mean, I say that with confidence as well. At 26, we have the Miami Dolphins here. The Dolphins, I think the thing with them, I don't know what their long-term plan at quarterback is. I mean, the defense has been rough this year. And from what I'm hearing from sources around the NFL, I mean, Brian Flores, he could be on the hot seat. I don't think anyone expected that. I don't think it's going to happen, though. That's what I've read, but I don't think it's going to happen. But at the same time, the Miami Dolphins are in a weird spot right now. I mean, it's weird, and I don't know what's going on. They're going to need to step it up a bit. At 25, we have the Washington football team. They're a team that's been very underwhelming. Their defense, wow, what happened? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's bad. It's a concern. It's one of the worst in football. I mean, I don't think anyone had this concern. I mean, Washington's going to be a terrible team this year because their defense doesn't look like it's going to improve. And if you don't have a good offense or defense, you're probably screwed. You have to have something good, Their special teams is probably their best unit at this point, honestly. I mean, that's sad. The Washington football team, oh my gosh. And if you guys think Taylor Heineke can be a long-term solution to quarterback, stop. Oh, stop. He's terrible. I mean, I thought they should uphold him. Whatever. At 24, we have the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons look better. They did beat the Jets, which is not a good win at all. But at the same time, they looked a bit better. And, I think the Falcons have some potential with their weapons. If Calvin Ridley can come back and guys like Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts can stay healthy, maybe they make a surprise run. I don't know. They still have a solid quarterback in Matt Ryan, but the defense needs to step it up. The defense looked much better yesterday, but at the same time, Zach Wilson just isn't good at football right now. I mean, he can be good, but his accuracy isn't there or anything, so the Falcons kind of lucked out there. At 23, we have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks now have Geno Smith at quarterback for the next 4 to 8 weeks as Russell Wilson will be recovering from finger surgery. So, the Seahawks, I mean, their season's probably over at this point. I mean, in that division, you're not competing with Geno Smith at quarterback. Even with Russell Wilson at quarterback, they probably weren't competing. I mean, that's just reality, honestly. It's just, But the Seahawks, their defense is one of the worst in football. I mean, they're on record pace for worst defense in NFL history this season. I mean, that's how bad it is. This team is. They don't have a first-round pick either. I mean, the Seahawks. If I'm a Seahawks fan, I am in shambles right now. At 22, we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off a 19-17 win against the Detroit Lions, where they kicked the 54-yard field goal, Greg Joseph. Kirk Cousins, you feel like he's cooled down a bit the last couple weeks, but he's still a solid quarterback. He just can't beat good teams. It's weird because he has the skill. He's got the weapons. He's got Thielen. He's got Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison. But Vikings, to be fair, they're not a very well-coached team. I will say that. Once Kevin Stefanski left, I feel like even with him, they weren't a great coach team, but I think he was their best on their staff. Yeah. At 21, we have the San Francisco 49ers. They fall to 2-3 as they take a defeat against the now 5-0 Arizona Cardinals. So, the 49ers, is this just deja vu all over again? What is going on with the 49ers? I think, are we really starting to see that 2019, was that just a one-year wonder? What is happening with this football team? I don't know what's going on. It's not like they had a massive amount of injuries, but wow. Their offense just can't do anything. Even with Jimmy G in there or Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to take some development. If you're an NFL team, I don't care if you're a contender or not, but if you have a rookie quarterback starting, just be prepared. You're not winning the Super Bowl. It's literally impossible. I think I have a better chance of living on Mars than a rookie quarterback winning a Super Bowl. To be honest, I'm not even joking at this point, but yeah. At 20, we have the New England Patriots. Same with them. They have no chance to win the Super Bowl this year because they have a rookie quarterback. Mac Jones has looked solid, but at the same time, he didn't look great yesterday. But that was, 4 of your 5 offensive linemen out. Obviously you're not going to look great. That's not a surprise. No slander for Mac Jones this time. So, yeah. But the New England Patriots pull off a really nice win over the Houston Texans. They were down 22-9, then were able to come back. I like that. At 19, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They play tonight versus the Baltimore Ravens. They're 1-3. We'll see what they can do. At 18, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off a much-needed 27-19 victory over the Denver Broncos, who got exposed. Another team in a couple spots got exposed as well. We'll talk about them. But Big Ben looked better. I still don't think he's a great quarterback at this point. But at the same time, he did look a bit better. And that's better for Steelers fans' hopes. If their defense can keep playing up to par, yeah. That could be an interesting team. At 17, we do have the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles were playing terrible football in the first half and the third quarter. I was like, bench Jalen Hurts. Like, what is this? Dink, doink passes, bench him at this point. I don't even care. But fourth quarter, he definitely bounced back. The Eagles' defense came in clutching Darius Slay. He had an interception in the first quarter, though. But, Sam Darnold had 3 interceptions. I mean, I don't know. Weird game. At 16, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I said, they've been exposed. But at the same time, they did beat some solid teams. But they're just one of those teams that doesn't have the talent to win all season long, I mean, Derek Carr has Darren Waller, but who else does he have? And I hope you guys in the comments are saying, oh, he has Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs might honestly be one of the worst running backs in football. I'm not joking when I say that. He's not very good. Let's be real. He can't break tackles. He doesn't know how to make great moves on the field. He's not an electric back. It's just true. He's just an average running back. I'm sorry. At 15, we have the Chicago Bears. They jump up a bit just because of their defense and the way Justin Fields has played. If he's adjusted, watch out for the Bears in the wild card. That could be interesting. I mean, the Chicago Bears, Matt Nagy, they're calling for his job, but he definitely, since Bill Lazor took over, it's been better. I think Matt Nagy should be chopped right now, and they should just give Bill Lazor the head coaching job in the interim, But yeah, the Chicago Bears look better. At 14, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They lose a heartbreaker versus the Green Bay Packers. But at the same time, I got to put them up 3 spots because of the way they played. They probably should have won. It was a weird game. Both teams missed a ton of field goals. Joe Burrow looked all right. He threw a couple bad interceptions, but he still looks very solid. Jamar Chase looks like the best rookie this year, and he'll probably win Offensive Rookie of the Year, barring anything crazy. So, yeah. And the Bengals' defense has a lot of potential. They really got to Rodgers to begin the game. At 13, we have the Kansas City Chiefs after coming off a loss versus the Buffalo Bills. This might be the worst defense in the NFL. I know people will say the Seahawks, but I think we're looking at it right now with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think we might see a midseason fire in Steve Spagnuolo. I would be shocked if we didn't at this point. I mean, where do I go from here? It's been atrocious. I mean, you can't win without a defense. I mean, this isn't even Mahomes' fault or Kelsey, Hill, nobody on the offense. The defense is just pitiful, and they just can't keep up. At 12, we have the Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold just doesn't look good the past few weeks. Like people say, you can't judge anything on the first 2-3 weeks. And at the same time, look at Sam Darnold. He's definitely, he's looked worse. But I don't think Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. I think it's just a bad week. I think he's going to go out there and potentially rebound. I still like potential with him. Still think he's very good. At 11, we have the New Orleans Saints. Saints are coming off a 33-22 win against the Washington football team. They probably should be lower after they lost to the Giants, but some games like that can be weird. I think the Saints are still a solid team. They got a really, really good defense, I think. One of the best units in football. And Jameis Winston, I mean, can he be the franchise quarterback that the Saints are hoping for? I don't know about that, but he's a nice fill-in so far, and maybe he can be the franchise quarterback. At 10, we have the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are coming off a big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Might not be the most impressive win, but still enough to be in my top 10 just because they're leading their division. They'll probably win their division at this point. I'd be shocked if anyone else did. And the Titans, they still have the best running back in football in Derrick Henry. They still got a well-coached team, and I don't think this is a team that's going to lose in the AFC South much. At 9, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens played tonight versus the Indianapolis Colts. They're definitely a good team, but we'll see what they got tonight. At 8, we have the Cleveland Browns coming off a loss versus the Los Angeles Chargers. They were around the 3, 4, 5 range for me, but they're now at 8. Their defense looked bad. And Joe Woods, just zone coverage. I mean, he was playing around with zone coverage and it didn't work. I mean, I don't know why you go zone coverage all the time there. I mean, that was just not ideal, and it really cost us, especially with our corners out. I mean, that's bad. Just bad coaching on defense. I mean, John Johnson's been pretty disappointing, but at the same time, Joe Woods hasn't helped him out either. But the Browns' offense looked good. Baker Mayfield looked good. I know Keyshawn Johnson just wants to go on ESPN and say, oh, Baker looked bad. He can't lead the Browns to a game-winning drive. Did you see our receivers? It's like they didn't want to go out of bounds. Like, what are we doing? He threw it to the sideline about 3 times, and his receivers just tried to get more yards. It's not his fault that the receivers don't want to win. Like, come on. At 7, we have the Green Bay Packers coming off a weird win versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Mason Crosby finally made a field goal and won it for the Packers, so that was interesting. Aaron Rodgers looked all right. He didn't have his best game, but he's fine. At 6, we have the Los Angeles Rams coming off a Thursday Night Football win over the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, Matthew Stafford got hurt early in the game, but he came back. He never really came out of the game, but he was able to do some against the Seattle Seahawks defense, which is not a surprise. The Seahawks defense is a joke, but yeah, the Rams are 4-1 now. At 5, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Their defense looks stellar. I mean, I didn't think their defense would be this good this early. Trevon Diggs is probably the best corner in football this season so far. He had another interception, and yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, their offense is rolling. Their offense might be one of the best in football. I mean, it's that offense is going to be tough. That's a team I wouldn't want to play. They honestly could go undefeated in division play, not conference play, but whatever. At 4, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. They're coming off a big 47-42 shootout win over the Cleveland Browns. The Chargers deserve my respect. Justin Herbert probably at this point is the next big thing. I mean, Patrick Mahomes too. Him and Mahomes could be the next best 2 quarterbacks in football. I mean, that's crazy to say, but Herbert, I mean, Chargers could win some Super Bowls, dude, with this guy. I mean, that's how good they are. That's going to be a battle for the ages and for the next few seasons. In the AFC West, the Chargers and the Chiefs. I don't see the Raiders and Broncos doing much because the Raiders don't want to have a good quarterback. And second of all, the Raiders, they're weird. They don't have talent. At 3, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are coming off a 45-17 win over the Miami Dolphins, and Tom Brady ages like fine wine. He's 44 years old, 5 touchdowns. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, the Buccaneers just don't want to go away. Tom Brady doesn't want to go away. I think they're still a favorite to win. At 2, we have the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen looked good again. I mean, they played arguably the worst defense in football, but that team still looks dominant as heck. They're probably the favorites in the AFC so far, and I don't think there's any question about it. And at 1, we have the Arizona Cardinals. First week at 1 in my power rankings. Kyler Murray, I mean, he looks like an MVP candidate, but he hasn't played as well as of late. He still can be turnover prone. And, yeah, the Cardinals, their defense looks solid. They did well against Trey Lance. And, yeah, the Cardinals, they play the Browns next week. That's going to be a good game. If the Browns can win that game, that'd be huge for them. And they would definitely jump up my power rankings. So week 6 NFL power rankings. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. Turn on post notifications. Like the video. Liking the video helps our video in the algorithm. So would really appreciate it, guys. And comment what you think and what your rankings would be. I'm out, guys. Sports expert here.